Hey, so with EVs being in the news recently and more people getting tempted by them, it's quite interesting seeing the comments on like Facebook posts and things like that. Now, the thing I see the most is, oh, the charging infrastructure is not good enough. I'm never going to get an EV for at least another 10 years. Okay, right. I've had 30,000 miles of experience now in electric cars. Some are easier, some are harder. But the underlying reality is that there are not EVs being dumped to the side of the road every single day because the owners run out of charge. Okay, I have a little advantage, and that is I've got a driveway and I've got a charger. So every day I wake up with a full tank of fuel. This is the reality for a lot of EV drivers. So do you think someone who's got a driveway is going to not charge their car on the driveway? And then they're going to try to use a public charger when they get to the shops 20 miles away? Well, no, because it's so much quicker, it's so much easier, it's so much cheaper, and it's so much more convenient to just charge there. There's no point in using a public charger if you don't need to. Okay, and that makes road trips an option. So what do you do on a road trip? You do 5 minutes research on ZapMap or any of the other charging apps, and you have a look and you go, I'm going to charge there, I'm going to have my lunch. I'd say an Engenie charger at a Marston Brewery pub. Perfect. And then you might want to go, I need a fast charge, so I'm going to stop at that Instavolt. Great. That's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and there's a Co-op and a Costa right next door to you. So you can have a quick break. You're going to be having breaks anyway, and if you don't, and if you drive 600 miles without stopping, you're an idiot. Okay, maybe that was a bit much. You're not an idiot. You just don't really think about other road users as much. Take a break. Anyway, so we've got a situation where most people who have a driveway are going to charge at home. That's not going to change. The average mileage people do a day, 25 miles. If you're doing 30, 40, 50, 60,000 miles a year, do yourself a favour and get a Tesla. The supercharger network's brilliant. It's just, you don't have to think about it so much. And I know loads of people who are running Teslas for long range, and I've never heard them moan about running out of charge. And if you're going to be one of these people who does 30, 40, 50, 60,000 miles a year, you're likely to be doing it for work. If you're doing it for pleasure, yeah, fair enough. But you're likely to be doing it for work, so you're going to be getting some kind of kickback from your company on the amount of miles you drive for work, which makes it a lot easier. And you're then probably more likely to use something like an Ionity charger, which is, although it's expensive, are mega quick and mega convenient. Okay, so who are the people actually having problems with the UK charging infrastructure? Normally they're people who buy an EV, don't do any research, and just drive it as if they're driving a petrol car. And then they drive into a small town where there's one petrol station that's, ancient. And then they wonder why they can't charge their car. Just a little bit of research would do you a world of good in that scenario. So the infrastructure is actually okay. And there's one more really big point. Okay, now this is the game changer. This is the thing that put my mind at rest when I was having these crazy thoughts, because the infrastructure at the moment is sufficient for the number of cars on the road. If they suddenly sell double the number of cars, guess what? All of these charging companies have then got double the amount of customers. So if you're running a pub and you're full every single night and there's a queue out the door, and then next door comes up as another lease, or you can buy it, you're going to buy it. You're going to make your pub bigger. It's exactly the same. So a lot of these sort of chargers are at places where electricity already exists. It's everywhere. Crikey, I've got electricity in my house. So you probably do too. So if there's electricity everywhere, guess what? They can add a charger. And I've spoken to people in the industry. They are chilled about it. They are not worried because they know how many people are using their chargers. I went to an Instavolt in Norfolk on bank holiday weekend, possibly one of the busiest days of the year. The beach and everything was packed. Every car park was busy. Couldn't even get into one of the car parks. There was an Instavolt literally 20 miles down the road, which is the ideal charger to use as you're coming into Norfolk from Cambridge or London. And I charged there twice. It's an 8-bay. How many people did I see also charging? One in the morning, an e-Golf. Lovely guy, had a chat. But if if the infrastructure really was as screwed as, these Facebook keyboard warriors are saying, that charging place at a logical, busy part of the country would be full. And it's not. Can you see what I mean? It's not such a big deal as everyone is making it. And yeah, so on to the summary. Okay, so 30,000 miles in, I am not too worried about the charging infrastructure in the UK. We are currently just using our BMW i3. It's got a usable range of 140 miles. It is not a long range EV. However, I would drive it up to Scotland. I would drive it up there tomorrow. I would plan my route and I would stop sort of every couple of hours. Don't know about you, but after 2 hours, I'm probably ready to sort of have a little walk around, if nothing else. So, I don't think the charging infrastructure is that bad. However, the world and the country is a big place. Some places are better than others. Milton Keynes, generally pretty much as good as you need at the moment. Obviously, they can add in more chargers. Other parts of the country, maybe not. So what do? You want to hassle your local politicians, your local councillors, and just let them know that there is a need for more chargers in, the neighbourhood of where you live. Do you live next to a massive shopping centre? Do they have EV chargers? If they don't, then they're missing out. So let them know. Keep sending those emails, keep making those phone calls. Let them know that if they put in a line of EV chargers, then they go on maps. So people are more likely to stop off on a road trip and charge up their car there. And guess what? You've got half an hour to waste. What are you going to do? Probably going to spend some money. So it's in their interest to do that. That's what they've got in Milton Keynes and in the multi-stories, and there's lots of chargers, and they are quite busy. Although, if you could park a John Lewis in Milton Keynes, go to the first floor. Really quiet chargers. So yeah, so that's my quick little sort of feelings, and it just bugs me because people are not going for electric cars just because they've heard some rumour that the charging infrastructure is not good enough unless you've got a Tesla. That is not the case. If you've got a Tesla, yes, it is easier because guess what? You can use the Tesla chargers and you can use everyone else's chargers as well and just pay for them. But if you've got another car, you're fine. Just do a little bit of research on ZapMap on a long journey. The likelihood is you're not going to be doing more than the miles that you can get into the car overnight at home. I know a guy that does about 200 miles a day. He never uses public chargers because he's just got a car that does about 240 miles to a charge and he just charges up fully every night. It's really simple. So yeah, don't worry about the charging infrastructure, but keep, telling people you want it to be better because that helps everyone. Anyway, have a lovely day all. See you soon. Bye.